So I was minding other people's business on Facebook the other day, and I stumbled across this video.
Today I will share my expenses and explain into detail how I live a comfortable life here in Danang, Vietnam with only $400 a month.
It was actually a promoted post, because obviously Facebook is always listening, and therefore it knows exactly where I am. This is a guide to living in Danang with just $400 a month. Now I looked through the video, this guy's bang on the same area that I am. In fact, he's going to the same places that I'm going to. And more interestingly, this is a response video to a video I was going to do a response to, actually, which was how to live off $600 a month in Thailand. But I wanted to film that when I was in Thailand, but obviously due to the current situations, I'm unable to leave Vietnam and go to Thailand as of yet. But now I'm going to have to respond to both of them. $400 a month, and that's including rent, as you will see. That's a bit of a push. The reason I want to respond to these kind of videos is they don't give you all the details. There's always stuff left out, but more importantly, I always find that these people just don't do enough. They don't research enough. They sort of just go with what they know, and they don't have a look around, because there's things in here that are really off the mark. There's some stuff that is cheaper, there's some stuff that is more expensive, and there's some stuff that hasn't really been factored in. Can you live on $400 a month? Yes, you could, but not with rent included. But it is possible, but it's difficult, but possible. And I'm going to tell you exactly how, because there's one thing I'm good at, and that's being stingy.
My biggest expense is definitely accommodation. I managed to get a beautiful studio apartment, 5-minute walk from Mikey Beach for only 5 million dong a month. It comes fully furnished with fridge, aircon, stove, cooking supplies, work desk. On top of that, it has weekly cleaning, Wi-Fi, water, and electricity included.
Right, so off the bat, good start. 5 million a month, which works out to be this much. I have a similar apartment in the same sort of area. I'm paying around 5.5 million, but there are people in this complex that are paying about 5 million, probably because they negotiated more, or the owners just like them better. I'm not sure which one it is. So 5.5 mil, 5 mil, that's doable. With electric included? No, not with electric included. I'm not saying that he didn't strike a deal or nothing, it just seems a bit rare. But that sort of thing can be done. I mean, a year ago I was getting Airbnbs in Thailand, and 2 times I rented places that never charged me electric. Now either that's because they forgot to, or it just wasn't included on the thing. I can't remember if it was included on the listings, but I never paid for it, and that's great. But it seems a bit unwise as we journey into the heights of summer. It's very hot, and you're going to need to use a lot of aircon unless you are a very big strong boy. Now this geezer does look like a very big strong boy, I'm not sure how strong. Now I have everything I need here, so I have a rice cooker, got one of those convection tabletop cooker things. I've got a fridge, aircon, fan, TV, internet is included. In fact, I've got them to hardwire it in so I can get hardwired internet, because it can be a bit choppy out here. Also, right next door, because I'm on the top floor, there is a gym and laundry, which is all free. The laundry has a washing machine and a dryer, and cleaning is included, and she comes once a week, very early in the morning, about 9 AM. That might not be early for some of you, but me, you know, I'm a vampire. I don't get charged for water either. Now when I'm pumping that thing out, which has been quite a lot over the past month, electricity comes out to about, last bill was about 900,000. The fact is I use quite a lot of electric. I use the rice cooker almost daily. I cook almost daily, sometimes twice a day. I also use the fan to fan extraction, and when I'm doing work I've got all the lights on. But it's still is reasonable. That is accurate. That's accurate. What he said is pretty accurate. It's a good start.
Getting a little bit weird during your vacation is part of your experience and expenses. The good thing is that Vietnam has one of the cheapest alcohol in the world. My personal favorite, vodka Hanoi, is 500 milligrams of vodka for 50,000 dong.
Whoa! Woo. It is cheap. It's very cheap. But the thing is, do you want to get drunk off something that will give you just one of the world's worst hangovers and literally just write off a whole day? You know, that's a day wasted, man. You don't want to be written off in paradise. Look, there's something you'll notice about places like this. Now, you could spend 280k. There is a whole street and there's a row of off licenses in the center of Danang. And they sell bottles of Bombay. Some 330, but the cheapest place I know where I go, which is legit. You can tell it's legit. It's still got that on the bottom. So it hasn't been drilled and filled with shite. Well, probably that vodka. 280,000, my friend, for a bottle of Bombay. You can also get, Jack Daniel's whiskey is about 330,000. You can get other decent whiskies for about the same price that you get it wherever you're from. You can get Smirnoff and all the other vodkas. I don't drink vodka, but you can get stuff that won't turn your stomach inside out and make your head feel like it's been flattened by a steamroller, at least.
And you can't go wrong with the Vietnamese beer. This one is the cheapest. It's 12,000 dong. They can go up to 15, 20,000. This one is a strong beer, 8%, and it's 28,000 dong.
This is a boo-boo. Look, here you are. This is the roux. It's cheap and it's good. Now, 12k. Right, well the reason it's 12k is because of the shop he's in. I know what shop he's in. I go in it a lot. It's Full Market. Full Market, there's a few of those around here, just in this area actually. They're not really anywhere else in the city. It's more of a sort of high-end mini market. I mean, I go in there and I buy like kombucha and cranberry almonds and nice coffee and noni juice. It's got that kind of things in it, you know what I'm saying? So 12k for this in there. No, you can go to Vinmart or pretty much any shop around here, a local shop like the one just over there. 10,000 every time. In fact, you can buy a box of it, 230 for 24 of these. A big slab of this shit. Why would you spend 12k on this in the shop, the very shop that sells a bottle for 12k too? That's right, and everyone knows bottles are better. For some reason here and in Thailand, I don't know why it is, bottles are cheaper than cans often, or just better priced. I don't know why that is, because I know in England it's completely the other way around. In fact, drinking out, there's a place down there and there's a place down there, which is more for locals, but that doesn't mean you can't go in there. We can actually buy these for 11k. That's right, it's cheaper than the shop. When have you ever seen that happening? Well, it happens here.
If you don't drink, there's also soft drinks. For example, Red Bull, 13,000 dong. Monster, 30,000 dong. A Coke or any soft drink is about 12,000 dong.
Sodas, soft drinks, you can get that way cheaper. You can go into Vinmart and even, on average you can get a bottle of Fanta this big and it's like 8,000. A bottle of Pepsi about that big. I bought one today for 6,000. Also bear in mind when you're drinking out, you can get this and other ones, the other cheap one, which is Huda, for 20 to 25k, and that's pretty much average everywhere. If you like more high-end stuff, it's like 30k to 40k. I've been to places where it's like 30k for Heineken. It all depends on what you want, isn't it? It's all about what you want. Cocktails, you can go some places and get some banging cocktails for about 80 to 90k. That's pretty good. Getting Negronis. I know a place that does a Groni about this big, 85k. Drinking is very cheap, as a rule of thumb. It's more expensive if you go across the river into the main city, to the riverside. Then you're looking at paying 30 to 40 to 50k each time, because there's more in it. But in this area, cheaper to cheaper to cheaper. There's a couple of things they really did miss out. Two of the most important things for sustaining life. That's water and cigarettes. Now I know he's a gym bro, so he probably doesn't smoke like us cool kids. But look, a pack of Marlboro, look at him. He's having a great time. Look at that. Look how happy he is smoking these cheap Marlboros. That's almost bang on $1 for a pack of 20 Marlboro. In the UK, this costs, I don't know, 500 quid these days. Now water's pretty cheap. If you go to Vinmart, you'll get some Dasani water, 2 litre bottle with 1.5, and that's about 10,000. But if you're like me, and I get it from downstairs because they have their own water, and check this out. That's 18.9 litres. 50,000. I mean, come on. But you can, if you go to the shop, you'll get a 5 litre one, which is about 40 to 50,000. So it depends on how much water you like. Like I said, I use that water for everything. I even bathe in it. I'll break it down. When it comes to drinking all drinks, he's way off the mark. You can get it way cheaper. Talking about getting stuff for 40k, you can get it way cheaper than that, and better.
Close to the Mikey Beach area, there's a free outdoor gym open to the public, and this is where I work out. It's usually very empty from 9 in the morning to 4:30 p.m. But if you come before or after that, the local Vietnamese people come here to the beach to relax, and it's packed. Now, if you're looking for a normal gym in the area, it can cost between 250,000 dong to 350,000 dong. It's pretty basic, but it does the job.
The Beach Bro Gym. I'm very familiar with the Beach Bro Gym. In fact, I'm just right by the Beach Bro Gym right now. Yeah, often you see some Beach Bros doing their Beach Bro Gym business down on the Beach Bro Gym. Do you mind? I'm making a video. Now, personally, I don't like gyms, especially outdoor gyms. And I've got a gym in my apartment anyway, so if I wanted to be into that kind of thing, I could just do that. Well, fine, you can do all the chin-ups and push-ups and whatever the fucks you want. But personally, I've always done my exercises in the comfort of my own room, you know. I've got like enough basic equipment that fits in my bag. It's very small, like stretching bands and all that kind of things. And you can just watch YouTube videos to learn how to do some exercise at home. I'm not going to teach you about exercises that you can do in your own bedroom. That's not really what I'm here to do for you. So, you know, I don't consider gyms to be the most crucial thing. And one thing that hasn't been mentioned, that is a crucial thing for pretty much everybody in the modern world, mobile credit. How are you going to take 400 Instagram photographs of your narcissistic girlfriend on the beach if you don't have enough credit to keep posting every 5 minutes? You need data. Now, Viettel is one of the best SIM cards you can get. I usually buy just a simple data plan. If you want to get a legitimate Viettel one, so you're going to need to give them your passport. You can buy them on side streets where they'll give you one that you don't need to sign up for, but they only last a certain amount of time and they can just be cut off at any time. For data, you're talking about 180,000 for 15 gigabytes, or if you're a real big boy baller boss of bosses like myself, 300,000 for 30 gigabytes, and that's for 1 month, and that's high speed. Works pretty well because I use it for streaming, but you'll just be using it for, you know, uploading all those photographs of your girlfriend, and ladies, your boyfriend will be using the data to upload all those photographs of you. There are other mobile networks. There is Mobifone, Vinaphone. Those are the two other good ones. You get similar packages with them. They do offer another package that's about 180,000. That's capped at 2 gigabytes unlimited every day for 30 days. Me, I don't like to be limited by what data I use because I have to use it for various purposes and I don't know how much I'm going to use. But that is an option for 180,000, you know, that's about 60 gigabytes really, but again, it's 2 gigabytes per day.
Transportation shouldn't be something to worry about if you live in Mikey Beach because you're surrounded by an abundance of cafes, restaurants, and most important, beach lifestyle. But if you decide to rent a scooter, it'll be around 100,000 dong a day, or you can always use the Grab app to catch a scooter taxi or a car taxi. For example, if you decide to grab a scooter taxi from Mikey Beach to the city, it will cost you around 40,000 dong.
Now your man here is talking about motorbike rental. Now I don't drive because I'm not insane. Driving a motorbike around here, a lot of people do it, but a lot of people end up in hospital and all fucked up. You'd be surprised about the amount of accidents that are attributed to silly foreigners like myself when they get on a motorbike without really knowing what they're doing. But if you want to get a motorbike, that's perfectly fine. A friend of mine has rented one for 500,000 a month. It's a fairly decent one. I know someone else is renting one for about $1 million a month. And that comes with service. So if there's any problems with the bike, the guy will service it for him for free. I know someone else who's paying like 1.2 million a month. That's the most expensive I've heard. So yeah, you can get some real good deals. You just gotta, you know, not look like you're fresh off the boat and try and haggle a bit. If you want to get taxis like I do, grab bikes, the amount that Mr. Jim Bro is saying in the video for pretty much this area that I'm in right now. So we're in Mayan, this is Mikey Beach. To get from here into the city, you can actually get it for about 22,000 on the back of a motorbike, on a grab bike, about 22,000, depending on the time of day. Very early mornings, and I think sometimes in the 3 p.m. onwards to 6 or something like that, it's a little bit more. But on average, as a rule of thumb, it starts off at 13,000 for whatever journey. For about a 3 kilometer journey, you're looking at paying between 21 to 28k, depending on the time of day. If you want to get in a proper taxi, you know, one that doesn't give you the chance of being flipped over in the street and have your head crushed because the cheap helmet they provided you isn't sufficient, then you can get in a big boy taxi. And I've gone all the way up to the Sontra Peninsula to the Big Lady Buddha, which is about 7k from roughly about here, and that was about 140,000 for that journey. Okay, on motorbike it'll be roughly half of that. It's very cheap basically. But on average, you know, you can go a few kilometers, you can go about 3k for about 30,000 on average. It's very cheap, you know, it's very cheap.
The cafes and restaurants here in Danang are great, but there's a huge variation in prices. You can find a decent meal for as low as 40,000 dong and as much as 150,000 dong or more.
Whoa, Nelly. As low as 40,000, as much as 150,000. Get out of town, John. Jim Bro is way off the mark here. You can get a meal for as low as, well, 20,000. Our man here seems to be paying double. Well, with that shirt, they probably saw him coming in quite the distance. You can go down the road here. There are places that you can get a meal of a very decent size, of fairly decent quality, for 20,000, 22, 25,000. Hell, you can get a banh mi sandwich for about as low as 7,000, but on average they're about 15,000. It's very cheap. There's great noodle places that are like 20 to 25,000 per meal. It is interesting for a guy who is talking about, you know, living off $400 a month, that, you know, this is the same man that would each time have a meal for 40,000. There is a wide variety of different kinds of foods you can get here, and they're all very good. I mean, starting at 20,000 and working your way up, you can get good Vietnamese food in a restaurant that is high quality. That'd be like 60 to 90,000 per meal. And then, you know, you get pizzas. There's loads of pizza places. They're all surprisingly quite good, and that's like between 130 going up to 300,000, depending on what you like. There's Mexican places. You can get a taco between 40,000 and 60,000. But to be fair, some of the like most high-end places you can go to. On my birthday I had a lobster thermidor, and it was 380,000 for a whole lobster. There are seafood places where you can get a whole lobster grilled in front of you for less than that. Hell, I know a seafood place where you can get half a dozen oysters steamed with some mad sauces and peanuts on it and shit. And that's like 39,000.
If you decide to have a coffee every day, it could be between 50,000 dong to 30,000 dong. Or if you want a fresh juice after your workout, it can be between 30,000 dong to 40,000 dong.
Coffee? Well, this is a coffee from a local cafe. It's an Americano. It's pretty decent. But there's even better ones. This just got delivered. This one, 22,000. Okay. One of the regular places I go to, it's 25,000. There's a really good place that does it. It's slightly smaller, but it's slightly better quality. It's 30,000. So 40,000, again, the man's getting mugged off. Maybe across the river in the city. But where our man's is, where I am is, you understand? No. And the juice, you can get a juice for way less than that. 15 to 20K. Freshly made in front of your eyes. Come on, Jim, bro, you can do better than this.
But if you're smart, you should go to the markets. I personally cook for myself and I save a ton of money. The one thing I love about Vietnam the most is finding really fresh produce at extremely cheap prices. For example, avocados, 25,000 for a kilo, which is about 4. Bananas, 30 a kilo. Passion fruit, 18,000 a kilo. Tomatoes, 15,000 dong a kilo. Mangoes for 20,000 a kilo. Huge bag of prawns for 230,000 a kilo. Pineapple cut for 15,000. And then we got veggies and onions and garlic and all that other stuff.
Well, he says if you're smart, you cook for yourself. Not necessarily. I say with the vegetable and fruit prices that he's paying, yeah, give or take, that's fine. He hasn't mentioned meat. If you go to the local market, you can get a kilo of pork. I paid about 150,000. Kilo of chicken is a lot less. Chicken you can probably get a kilo for like 80,000 if you're lucky. But that is going to the market. Now bearing in mind the market is quite a wild ride. The market just down the road for me. I don't use it that often. I often go to the supermarket across the river. It's about a kilometre away. The prices in there are fantastic. Now for me to go through all the prices of what you can get in there, who's got time for that? But going into the market, last time I went, they were selling frog in there. Frogs were hopping around whilst they were being chopped and killed. And also bear in mind these hopping frogs had no skin on, and they will, pick up the meat with no gloves and take the money with the same hands, not washed, and give you the change back. You're gonna have to clean your meat and cook it very well, is what I'm saying, and also bring hand sanitizer with you and squirt it on them when they give you that change, just to send a message out. To squirt it out. No, don't do that. It's really going to cause cultural offence, and it won't be advisable. That's what you're going to deal with. You spend just a little bit more, not a lot more, a little bit more. Go somewhere like Lottie. It's all subjective. But what is not subjective is cooking at home being cheaper. Because like I said, our man doesn't know he can get the same meal for 20,000 that he's paying 40,000 for. When you consider the electrical costs and all the different ingredients you got to buy to make like a proper meal, in the end it can actually cost more than if you go and buy one of the more rustic street sort of restaurants or street vendors down the road. That's facts. It can actually be cheaper to eat out in the long run. If you're smart, you'd know that, because you'd be able to calculate in how much your electricity costs. But our man says he's not paying for electric.
As you can see, the prices are insane. I spend around 400,000 dong per week on groceries and always have more than enough in my fridge. If we do the math, in total I spend 5 million dong on accommodation, which if you have a partner, you can split in half. 125,000 dong for mobile internet, about 1,600,000 on groceries, and I'll add in another 1.3 million for extra things like coffee, juices, or going out to eat every once in a while. Then I probably rented a scooter 5 times this month to go and explore, so that's another 500,000. And then party and alcohol, I would say around 700,000 a month. So this comes out to a total of 9,925,000 dong, which is around 393 USD.
Okay, well Jim Bro done the math. I'm gonna do the maths. So okay, I'll break it down. My accommodation right now In fact, when I started filming this video, I was paying 5.5 million without electric. Well, my rent has been reduced by 1 million, as all rents have been reduced around here, because no one's been let in the country, there are no tourists, and therefore things are getting a little bit cheaper. So now I'm paying, with excessive use of the electricity, because it is very hot right now, so I'm using the aircon a lot more. It's still 5.5 million with electric. That's $240. Now I'm getting 15 gigabytes of data on my phone for about 180,000. That's roughly $8. If you just ate out 3 times a day, I only have 2 meals a day, but these are 2 bigger meals. But if you're one of those regular folk type people who eats 3 meals a day, and let's say on average you're paying 25,000 per meal, that's 3 times a day for 30 days. That's $100 a month. You don't have to cook. Drinking water, I'm getting through 18 litres a week, so let's call that 4 times 18 litres at 50,000. So I'm getting 4 of those a month. It's $9. And because I am British, and let's say I'm taking it easy, I'm drinking 4 beers a day down at the place where I can get it between 11 and 12,000. 4 beers a day. That'd be about $63 a month. You can be a fully functioning alcoholic for a fraction of the price. And let's say you get in extra groceries. And this is like snacks and juices and some coffee and some teas and Crispies and fruit and blah blah blah. Let's say you're spending about 500,000 a week on that. That totals up to about $90 a month. So with that said, $510. He's talking about $400. Is that possible? Anything's possible. You could get cheaper accommodation if you rented a room for someone. And if you don't mind eating street food all the time, then yes, it's possible. But to live a comfortable and luxurious life, nah, you're crazy, bro. You're crazy. If you were spending outside of your rent, let's say you managed to get rent for $200, which is very possible, and then outside of that you were just spending $10 a day. Now for me, as someone who drinks and smokes fairly regularly, well, cigarettes are very cheap. But if you didn't do all that sort of thing, if you weren't heavily caning it all the time, you could probably do $10 a day. So that's $300 a month, so that'd be $500. And then add another 100 on top of that for what I like to call JICs. That's just in case. You got just in case money, man. It's possible. But if you want to live a luxurious and comfortable lifestyle, $20 a day, you're laughing. Seriously, you're laughing. That's what I'm spending. And sometimes I don't spend that much a day, and I'll save the money up for going out for a very nice meal during the week, or hitting the town or whatever. So let's say $600 plus $200, $800. Twice of what he's putting out there. Yeah, you could do it. That would be pretty good. You'd have a good time. You would have a very good time. So it is subjective, but I'm telling you, let's be realistic. Like for $800, you could be a budget baller. You can be a budget baller for 800. 400 a month, 600. It's possible, but it depends on what you want to do. That's backpacker money, man. That's backpacker money, not baller money, baby. Woo!